Welcome to Real Estate Moms Unscripted with Sarah and Dawn. Woo!
Hey, hi everybody. Holy cow, what a
Are
week,
we
huh?
I know. Are we excited today or no? Is anything exciting
Yes.
happening with you today? You are excited.
Okay, so real life, I'm bringing a couple for some showings today. We are viewing 6 homes. Um, the radius of the homes, like around, is almost 200 miles. And we are going to be driving and viewing properties for about 5.5 hours today,
Oh
on
my
this
God. So are you
wonderful Sunday afternoon when my whole family's home. This
and
is
you're
what
gonna be
I'm gonna
working.
do.
Are you
So,
packing a lunch? Do you bring yourself like food
mhm.
when you do long days like
Oh yeah,
that? Good.
energy drink, snacks, food, yes,
Bottle
all
of
of the
wine,
stuff.
maybe. Just
Yeah, oh my
kidding.
God, that's gonna be waiting for me when I get home for
When
sure.
you get home, you'll have the bottle of wine. Good.
So,
So I
yeah,
have a funny meme that I want to show you before we get started. You're going to love
okay.
this. Hold on, let me
Oh, well,
share
let's see it.
screen. I got to see which one. Okay, not that one. I got two things I'm going to share with you today, but first I'm going to share this meme. I'm going to share it on our screen so
Your
everyone
hair
can
looks
see it.
great today, by the way.
Thank you.
I love it.
I just got such a freaking kick out of this meme. Okay. Oh, that's my phone telling me my daughter just left. Let me turn it off. Okay. Let me know when you can see the meme.
I can see it. Okay.
Okay.
Florida.
Read it.
It says Florida, New Yorkers, New York. Florida, Floridians, New Yorkers, New York. Oh my God, I
Okay.
love that.
I
Oh,
saw this and
geez.
I totally thought of you. I thought it was hilarious because we actually have a ton of New Yorkers moving down to Florida, which
It's
I
nuts.
love. I personally love. But yes, I'm running into people with New York accents, and that New York attitude, which is totally different than Florida. So it cracks
Oh my
me
God.
up. But then when I saw this
And
meme, I was like,
it's hilarious. Well, and the thing is like New Yorkers and New York, it's like two different worlds, right? So like New
yeah,
Yorkers are like the downstaters, like from New York City and Brooklyn and Manhattan and all that. New York is like upstate, like where I'm at, country,
yeah,
open field, open lands, lakes, all that fun stuff. So that's hilarious. Yes.
yes,
They're like,
I love it.
hey, awesome.
Hey, Florida, here we come. But
Seriously, where's our
okay,
sunshine?
where's our sunshine? Do you guys ever get a lot people from Florida moving to New York?
We get a lot of I don't think moving per se, but like uh the summertime, Oswego or upstate New York summertime, we get a lot of like people from the South, like Florida, coming up because Florida just gets
Okay.
so hot. So they
Yes,
hang
it
out
does.
here for July and August and
It does.
that.
And I see that you're wearing a tank top today, so it must be 50 degrees in New York.
It's 46 right now, but it's getting up there.
Is it
I'm
flip-flop season over
I'm
there
dying
yet?
for sunshine. I need a tan. I need things all like warm in my life.
So I've got my fake tanning lotion that I use, and I love it because it's all organic stuff. But I've been
What is
wearing
it
shorts for
called?
like the last 3 days. Oh gosh, I don't know. You'll have to ask me next time. It's
Okay.
I'll send it to you because it's on Amazon. It's freaking amazing. It's got
I
all
think it might
organic
I
ingredients.
think it might be the same thing Sid uses. I think we might have talked about this before. But
Okay, it might be,
because
yeah.
she loves it.
So,
Yeah, and it always looks so good.
well, the other kind that I was getting from the store that was like from these big name brand places would literally make my skin break out. And so I would put this tanning lotion on and I would then have like breakouts all over my legs, like
Because it's
rashes,
full
and
of
it was just
chemicals.
gross and weird. Yeah, chemicals.
Yeah.
And my body was rejecting it. But you don't realize that your body actually absorbs like stuff through the skin too. And I didn't know this until I was in my 40s and I learned this that you can absorb
Wait,
stuff
you're
through
in
the
your
skin.
40s?
Shut up. Shut up, bitch.
I'm
I'm
not
not
there yet,
20s.
but
Now that I'm in my 20s. But I know this
perfect.
now because I'm using the what is that cream that I told Cindy? The wild yam cream. because I
Yes.
was getting hot flashes. I mean, God, who gets hot flashes in their 20s?
In
I don't
their
know.
20s.
Apparently I do. But I started using that Wild Yam cream, and you put it on your skin, and it works. Like, I don't get hot flashes anymore, thank the Lord above, because that was intense.
Oh my God. Well, ever since you told me about it, I feel like it's like so popular now. Like everybody talks about it now. It's
Yeah.
all over
Yeah.
TikTok, it's all over like social media. So that's
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah,
Yeah.
she uses that religiously.
Religiously.
Yeah.
Speaking of social media, I saw this. So this is the other thing that I wanted to screen share with you, and then we can get into more real estate details. But I thought this was great. I watched it because we had been talking about this kind of stuff for a while, and I had watched it on a TikTok. Sometimes I get a little addicted to my TikTok, Sarah. I'm not gonna lie.
Me
I'll
too.
scroll
Me
and scroll
too.
and scroll, and then like two
And then you're
hours
like
go
five
by, and I'm
hours
like,
later.
it's
Okay.
also a good time killer though. So sometimes I
Oh
use it
my
to kill
God,
time.
totally. Yeah,
Okay, I'm
absolutely.
gonna play this video for you. Can you see it? Is it up there?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna play it.
It's
What does
crazy
it
that realtors
say?
are stealing $50,000 from the deal and it's just a normal business cost. In real estate transaction, there are so many hands in the cookie jar, but let me break down for realtors. So the number 6% gets thrown around a lot, that agents make 6%. I would say I usually see around 5% because that's negotiable, and that's broken in half. So it's 2.5 to the listing, 2.5 to the buyer. Now that's being debated right now, but that's another video. But let's say I represent a buyer and we find them a $400,000 house, and the commission is 2.5%. That would be $10,000 in commission. However, I then have to pay my brokerage, which could be 10% or even up to 50%. Let's just say 15% for the sake of argument, leaves me with 8,500. Then I need to set taxes aside, which is around 30%. So I would pocket about $6,000 on this deal. So for the average realtor, if they want to pocket $100,000 in a year, they would have to sell about $7 million worth of real estate. But here's the other step, which makes it interesting. A lot of business in real estate is done by referrals. If there's a Chicago realtor who has a buyer moving to Orlando and they call me, they're going to charge me 30% if I take care of that buyer here. So if I sell a $400,000 house, the 30% comes off the top. So that 10K goes to 7, 15% to the brokerage, 30% to taxes, leaving me with $4,000. So from that moment I got on a Zoom with that buyer to the moment we closed could have taken 90 days, and the realtor makes $4,000. So the average realtor out here in the world, if you're not looking at the reality shows, are making probably anywhere from 40 to 80,000.
Okay, so
So
tell me, girl,
amazing.
what do you
So
think
true.
about that?
And no, it's so true. And what he didn't mention that, off that bottom line too, is all the marketing you do, the photography, let's say your time, um, your other marketing, your flyers, your door
Yeah,
hangers, your open houses, like all of
advertising.
that stuff, all your advertising, like, so I mean, it's even less than that at times. I know
It
last
is
year when
less
I
than
did,
4,000.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
think
he
last year
didn't
when
he didn't mention the photography and all the stuff that you pay out of pocket, which show
right,
you that 4,000, and then your gas money and your car money and your time dwindles down. So we'll just be conservative. We'll say that 4,000 goes down to now 3,000, which I spend way
right,
more than 1,000 in marketing. And then you take that 3,000 and you divide it by the many hours that you worked. And he said he was conservative. He said 90 days. Okay. So 90 days, you make $3,000.
right,
What?
exactly. Well, and
So
that's
you've got
that's
to
like
love
an
being a
edge.
realtor.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? Like it comes down to, they say if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life, right? So
It's
it
true.
comes down to people are like, oh, you're a realtor because they make a ton of money. No, I'm a realtor
No.
because I thoroughly enjoy what I do. And,
Yes.
um, the bottom, like last year when I did my taxes, I think my write-offs as far as like mileage, photography, your office. He didn't even mention office dues, the MLS dues,
Yeah.
the National Association of Realtor dues, like all of that was almost $37,000 were my write-offs. So
Yeah.
you take that off of
Yeah.
my gross commissions, and I made just
Yeah.
as much as someone that was working minimum wage, so it
Right.
just
And
shows
probably
that like,
working less hours. You're working more hours than that same person
right.
that worked minimum wage. So it does go to show you have to really love being a realtor, and I absolutely love it.
Right.
But
Yeah,
it
we
is
do it
it
because
is a lot of work, and you do get sometimes people who throw that in your face, like, oh, it
right.
must be so nice. You're like,
Yeah.
it's not, you
No.
know, I love
I
it, but it's
mentioned
24/7.
it really is. And I mentioned that today to one of my friends. They're like, Sunday fun day, let's go to brunch. And, I mean, trust me, I love Sunday fun days and I love our 8-hour long brunches that like we pretty much get annihilated.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, I won't be back till I'm leaving my house at 11:30 and I won't be back till probably 5:30 tonight. And
Yeah.
it's no guarantee that they'll buy a house or they'll like what we're seeing, so but
Yeah.
I love this couple. Like, I met
Aw.
them. I met them. They called the office one day and just complete strangers, and I met them and I feel like I've known them forever. And it's like you said, doing what you love. I love to just see excitement in their face and get to know different people and like learn their history and their life. And so
Yeah, it's fun. And
it's
I
just nuts.
honestly like looking at houses too, which is kind of
Right.
weird, but like sometimes I'll go in and I'll get ideas and I'll just like take pictures of like the cabinet color or whatever, because there's so many people have so many unique ideas and I love it. So it's fun. It's got its bonuses for sure. And then sometimes you walk in a house and it's scary.
It is. I have to try to find this picture. You got to bear with me for a hot second because here it is. And I apologize because I don't have it on screen share. I don't know how to do any of that, so I'm just going to show you on my phone.
Can you text it to me and I'll put it on screen share?
So I'm doing this showing with this couple and we go into the basement and this is what we see. And I had to take a picture of it because I was laughing and I'm like, oh my God, this is real. This is real life.
This is real life.
I just sent it to you. Yeah. So back to like seeing just different things and what people like people's lifestyles.
You're cracking up.
I can't.
God. Okay.
So
this is gonna be exciting. Bear with me, audience. I'm gonna pull this up and put it on our screen share. This is why it's called Real Estate Moms Unscripted, right? Because we don't plan any of this, but I'm excited to see this picture.
We just start talking. Did you see it yet?
Not yet. I'm pulling it up right now. I gotta send it to my computer.
Okay.
Hold on.
Oh my God.
Okay, so it's two pictures.
It's two pictures because one's just the sign and then the other picture is the inside. That's like, speaking of sunshine and tanning, it's hilarious. Like that is a man-made.
That is a man-made tanning bed.
Yeah.
That is unfreaking believable.
It would terrify me. Like I would be terrified to even go in there.
You know what? I could see my husband, Sarah, literally making something like that. I'm going to pull these pictures down to my... that thing looks like it's going to spray you in the eye. So if you've never been to a tanning bed or it's a spray tan, right? Is that what it is? Or is it lights?
No, that's lights. Those are actual UV lights he put in the walls and the ceiling.
So you have to stand there. You can't lay on it.
Yeah, you're standing there. And I mean, it was so small. I don't even know how he like moved, but I had to take a picture of it because my people are like, is that real? And it was labeled.
Explain to people, just in case they've never been in a tanning bed, what an actual tanning bed is like.
So, well, you're surrounded by like UV lights and bright lights shine on you.
But it has like a plexiglass and you normally lay down on the bed, right? And then you pull the cover over. So that's a normal tanning bed if you've never been in one. It's pretty professional looking and it doesn't look scary. Now are you ready to see a man-made tanning bed? Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, so hold on, it's still loading. It's taking its time, but oh my gosh. So do you remember going back in the tanning beds when we were younger and they had that little Playboy bunny sticker?
Yes. Oh my God. Somebody posted that on, I don't know, Facebook or something, and they're like, it was just the Playboy bunny sticker, and it's like, if you know what this means, you, like, I don't know, Dawn, you're in your 40s. That's what it says. Stop aging yourself, damn it.
If you know what this means, you're in your 40s. Is that what it's? Is that what it's saying? Oh my God. Hold on, it's loading still. Oh,
Oh my
I
God.
can't wait to
I
share
can't.
this. This is hilarious. But
It
yes,
is just
okay, so I
crazy.
obviously don't use tanning beds anymore because now we know what we didn't know back then, and tanning beds are obviously not good for you and cause cancer. Has any of your kids ever used a tanning bed, Sarah?
No, no,
No.
no, I don't even think Sid's got spray tans. I don't think so.
I don't even think they would know what a tanning bed is.
No.
We are really aging
Jeez.
ourselves.
I don't know what one is
Shit,
either. I just saw that.
Shut up. Lord.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Come on, baby.
How
All right.
so
While this loads,
is it up?
we can. No, it's
Oh,
taking its precious time, but it's because we're online, so it's obviously going to take a little bit longer.
a little
But once it
slower.
loads up,
Yeah.
we'll show everyone, and I'll murph
We'll
those
track
two
back.
together. We'll track
Yeah.
back. Okay.
Oh
So
my
I
God.
wanted the other thing I wanted to talk about, and I pulled this up on my phone, was tips and suggestions for first-time home buyers, or the other thing is like struggles that are facing home buyers today. And you said that you had a couple stories about that, or
Yeah.
tips.
Yeah. So, and I kind of want to, I think the majority of my buyers right now are first time home buyers or buyers that have a home now that are looking to like upgrade, but um, have the contingency of selling their house first, which a lot of sellers in this market right now don't like to see offers with any contingencies, obviously, because the market's just crazy. And I think the hardest thing with, let's go to first time home buyers, I think the hardest thing is that they get so excited about everything they want in a house. So they're out looking for the perfect home. And
Yes.
especially in this market, it's so hard to find the perfect home, but then they get discouraged, or the perfect home is way out of their budget or whatever. So what I've been telling my buyers is your first home doesn't have to be your last home, but if you can find a home that you can get into that'll work for you for 3 to 5 years, it's going to give you the opportunity to use it as trade-in value. Think of it like, anything, trade-in value, a car, for the next best thing. Because
Yeah.
a lot of times too, with first time home buyers, obviously a lot of them are younger. They either have no credit or lower credit. They don't really have the money down for, anywhere from 3 to 5% for these homes that are in the upwards to $200,000 and $300,000 homes. So they're stuck looking between, 80 to 150, let's say, $1,000 homes. And in this market, typically those are more like fixer uppers. And the housing market is always going up and down, but it mainly is continuously going up. If it drops, it's not dropping super low, and then it's always climbing above where it originally was. So
Yeah.
if you buy, the fixer upper, stay in it for 3 to 5 years, put some money into it, turn around and sell it, you're gonna have, the value and what's the word I'm looking for? The value in your house is going to increase.
Right.
Within the next 3 to 5 years, you'll have that to be able to trade in for an upper, meaning you're going to sell your home for more than what you paid for it. And, you'll have
Yeah,
more
your
money.
equity. Is that what you were trying to think
Yes,
of?
that
Equity.
was the word I was looking for. Equity. It wasn't coming
I
to me.
knew you that's what you were thinking, and then I couldn't think of the word either. I'm like, okay. And then it just came to me, equity. So yes, the equity in your house,
Yep.
which is really, really good advice, because that's literally how I started with my first home in Utah. It wasn't the perfect home, but like you're never going to find the perfect home, even if you have all the money in the world, right? You have to kind of just make it
Yep.
your home. Even people who build from scratch, I hear them say, I thought this is what I wanted, right? And then they're
Right.
like, now I outgrew it. And you'll outgrow your home eventually anyways. And sometimes you have to move on to the next one. But starting out small and then building your way up, because then you're going to get that equity like you were talking about, and then you can take that equity and get something a little bit bigger each time.
Yeah.
So, that whole dream of living in the one house with a white picket fence and raising your kids and your grandkids in it, like, that's not really the reality anymore, just because there's so much in the world and so easy accessible stuff to get, and you can really just do better and upgrade, and it's basically upgrading your house every couple of years. And if you do it, if you wait 2 years, that's the magic number. You don't have to pay capital gains, right? Unless they change that, but I don't think they're going to change that anytime soon. So you don't have to pay taxes on that money, on that equity that you made, and then you just turn around and buy another house. And then you do it again. You wait 2 years, you're going to make a lot of money, turn around, buy a bigger house. So I love it.
Right.
That's really great advice.
And a lot of times too, if they even, want to leave, I mean, I think it's smart to stay in the house for at least 2 years, just to really get that equity. But let's just say something crazy happened. There's always that, and they move and sell for before 2 years. There's the 1039 exchange they can do, which they won't have to pay taxes as long as they take that money and reinvest it into another property, and for already people that already have homes that, talking about like upgrading, let's say you did buy a home 2 years ago and you're struggling to find a house now because you can't get another mortgage until you sell the one that you have. So any offer you're making right now is contingent on you selling your house. There's a lot of banks out there that do what's called bridge loans, meaning they will bridge your mortgages together. You'll be able to finance a new mortgage. They're going to attach it to your old mortgage. And so you can actually make an offer on a home without it being contingent. And then your home has to sell within so many months after.
Yeah.
And people get nervous. They're like, oh my God, well, I don't want to do that because I can't afford 2 mortgages. I can't. And I'm telling people, in this market, you have nothing to worry about. If we price your house right and market it the way you're supposed to, like, your house is going to sell. You literally have nothing to worry about. And I've done probably 4 bridge loans in the last year, and they're amazing. They work so good. My buyers are able to get into a new home without any contingencies, and their house is sold in the market almost around the same time, and we're closing on both properties around the same time. So can you say hi?
Hi, sweetie.
He's off to soccer.
Off to soccer.
So so there's ways about it. The market is tough for these buyers right now, and us agents are really having to get creative and tricky and really work hard for these buyers because, again, we go back to this every single week, supply and demand. There's so much more demand right now than there is supply. And you need to know exactly how to work around this market.
Being a first-time home buyer too, that tells you that it's because there's so much demand, you really need to do your homework and get yourself the right real estate agent, somebody who knows about these different loans, that can help you with the equity, can help you with the bridge loan, can help you with any of those things. And also, a lender who has great contacts with different lenders that can really help you do things too. Because sometimes first-time home buyers, or home buyers in general, if they haven't bought in a while, they don't know that, like, what's the rules, like, is it 20% down? Is it 10% down? Is it 15% down? Is there options for me? Is there government programs for me? And they don't know those things. So it's important to get yourself an agent who is educated on these things.
Who can give you different ideas. I mean, like, I have a couple right now that, they're not qualified for very much. And their best option right now is to get them into a higher bracket of qualifying, is to buy a multifamily home, like a duplex where it's owner occupied. So they would live in one half and then rent out the other, because the bank is going to count that other side as income to them, which boosts their income level and their pre-approval level. So, and she didn't know that. She came to me with a pre-approval from like some online thing that she did without really any relationships or whatever. So I gave her different contacts, more local, and some different ideas.
Good.
And we were able to get our pre-approval almost $40,000 higher than what the online people did. So don't try to do it on your own. Get somebody to help. It's just going to make things so much easier for you and
Yeah.
guide you,
And guide you. That's exactly what I was going to say, because that's a great point. Like sometimes people think I can do it on my own and I can do it better, but why not use an expert who knows the different tools that can really help you and guide you
Yep.
and get you something even more. You just got her $40,000,
Right.
equity that she could, or loan money that she could use towards a house and something that she likes even better. And now she's going to have an income property on top of that. That is an awesome story. That is really, really cool.
Yeah, I'm super excited for them, and I hope we can find them something. Realtors, I think I don't even know how to say it, but people are scared to use realtors at times because I think they look at them as like car salesmen or just like sales people. And I think what the biggest thing as a realtor that, we need to let our buyers know is it's an investment. It's a long-term investment for us to invest in our buyers, because it's not just for one, it's not just a quick deal. Here's your car, here's your keys. You're going to need it again and whatever. We build the relationships that are long term, and it's more than just a sale for us. It's more of an investment.
100%.
So
I like that, because it's important to know that. Well, and unfortunately, we've had realtors in the past, and there's still some realtors out there that give people a bad name. And the way the industry works, no matter in what department you work at in life, if you have a bad experience, you're going to tell 10 people, right? But if you have a good experience, you might tell 1 or 2 people. So the bad news always gets out more. And so unfortunately, sometimes realtors have a bad rep for that. But if you find a good one that you love, you're going to be amazed at the amount of stuff that they do for you and they can help you with. So that's why I always tell everyone, do your homework, interview at least 3. Don't hire your brother, sister's cousin because they said she's a realtor, or don't hire a part-time realtor either. Those usually don't turn out good because they have a full-time job somewhere else.
Right. And they're not really
don't
educated.
Hire somebody who's had 1 sale in the entire year, right? Because they don't have the experience, or they're not going to keep up on the CEUs or of what's going on or the different laws that change. So you've got to just like anybody, especially because this is a huge investment, right? Like this is probably the biggest investment you're ever going to make in your life with the most amount of money. And so you should interview people. You should get credentials. You should call referrals, and really do your homework.
All the questions. And I always tell people, like, no question is a dumb question. Ask your questions over and over. I'll have people be like, sorry to bug you again, but I'm like, you don't bug me. Like, this is what I do. And this is what I'm here for. Like, I don't want you to make an uneducated decision on anything we do. So yes, ask me all the questions. And if I'm not saying I know all the answers, but I'll find them for you. Like if I don't know the answers, then I'll go to somebody else that might, and I'll keep looking until I have all the right answers.
Yeah. I love that because, sometimes people are scared. They get nervous to ask questions, and because they think it's going to make them look stupid, right? I don't think asking questions makes you look stupid. I think it makes you look smart, and you're trying to educate yourself, and you're trying to gather information. And I think that is an intelligent thing to do for people. Even me as a real estate agent, if somebody asks me a question and I don't know the answer, I tell them, I say, hey, that is a really good question. I don't know the answer. If you give me, till the end of the day, let me find out, because I have a couple contacts that could really help teach me this. I'm learning something new every day in real estate. Things are always different. And, so I think that's great that people ask
constantly
questions.
changing. Everything's constantly changing. And, it's.
Okay. So first time home buyers, do you know, I had a first time home buyer ask me this, so I'm going to see if you knew. What loan would they have to put the least amount of money down?
So it depends. If they qualify for like a USDA or VA, they is 0 money down. But there are banks out there that will do conventional 3%, where the the reputation for conventional loans is anywhere between 10 and 20%. Not anymore. There's a lot of banks out there doing conventional loans now for 3%. But yeah, USDA and VA are going to be the one where you can put zero money down.
Okay,
And
good. I love it. You knew.
And that is an educating thing too, because a lot of the times if you have a first-time home buyer that has a USDA pre-approval or a VA pre-approval, sometimes I find myself educating the listing agent when I go to put an offer in. They've had a bad rap for a long time because they're government funded loans. And so the stipulations or the criteria of the homes sometimes are a little bit tougher, like, you know, the whole no chip paint, no broken windows. What else? I don't know, just like some of the, if there's no gutters. So the stipulations used to be, well, they still are kind of strict, but conventional loans are starting to crack down on criteria too, because of just how much over asking price, how fast the market is fluctuating. But with the USDA and VA loans, a lot of times when a seller has, let's say they have 3 offers, one's USDA and 2 are conventional, a lot of times, even if the USDA is over asking price and the 2 conventional ones are not, they get shivers for the USDA because they're like, oh my God, I don't even want to deal with the appraisal when it comes back of bank required repairs. Well, that's
and
an
those are
educating
important
moment.
things to know. Yeah.
Right. And it's an educating moment to do to the seller or the seller's agent and just be like, well, first of all, my buyer is going to cover any bank required repairs up to $1,000. Second of all, I already walked through the house. I already know what USDA is looking for in their appraisal, and I don't see anything wrong with it. So you're going to be fine. Like, so just knowing what type of loans do what, I guess, and what to look for when you're walking through a house, because just because they have a pre-approval, doesn't mean that every house is for that,
Yeah. And this is exciting news because some first-time home buyers, a lot of them don't know that they could get one of these loans and have to put nothing down.
Right.
Which is exciting because they think they have to save the 15 or 20% and they feel like they're treading water and it's just going over their head. They can't, but there's these programs out there. And if you have a good agent, they're going to be able to help you find a program that's going to help you get into a house sooner and with more equity and possibly even more, get a rental
money
property
in your pocket.
and
right. Exactly.
I love it.
Yeah. More money in your pocket, more house for your money, like all the things. Seriously, do not try to do it on your own. And it is not always, actually, it's never best. I just want to say quick, like, especially in this crazy market. Is it coming up?
It should be coming up.
So Dad's tanning booth. Okay. Remind me though, I want to circle back to listing agents and buyers. Okay. But okay, Dad's tanning booth. Yes. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And I go open up the door.
This is the door. Okay. Let me show the other one.
Door.
That's the door. So you walk in and it says Dad's tanning booth.
Yeah.
Then you open the door. And this talented man obviously made this tanning booth. I love it. You're going to have to explain to me some of the details in this tanning booth.
Can you see that? Like, so that is like, looking at the picture to the right, it seriously looked like those fluorescent lights, like straight up and down. And then there's like a mirror. There's a mirror back. Like there's no lights
in
there.
The back.
So like the lights bounce off the mirror and reflect to your body. And then on the other wall, across from those lights across from the lights to the left were more lights. And then on the door that you can't see was mirrors. So everything, it was just like reflections bouncing off the mirrors. It was,
you would have to
I couldn't believe it. Yeah, you just
for
stand
20
there
minutes like that, wherever you want to get the tan. I remember we would go like this so that we would tan our armpits, because if
Yep.
you laid down like this and you came out of the tanning
You'd-
bed, you'd have these white
have-
armpits.
Yep.
Okay, talk about, wait a minute. If you tanned in a thong,
Oh,
you would
my
have to make
God.
sure your butt cheeks
We're
didn't
open.
squish together. Otherwise, you'd have like a white
line all the way up. Oh my God. Seriously. So like, yeah, if you ever bent over naked, it just looked like, hey, here I am.
Okay. But I could see a problem. There's a flaw in this tanning bed, right? Do you know what it would be?
The wood?
Think about it. No, because you're standing instead of laying.
Right.
So actually there'd be two flaws.
Your boobs. Okay, I don't worry
Your
about
boobs?
that.
Yeah, but you'd have a line like underneath because your boobs would be sagging, right?
My boobs don't sag,
I mean,
first of all.
Not at 20 years old. Not at 20.
Exactly.
And then the same if you had a booty, you'd have like that
Right.
booty line. So you'd have to like maybe lift
Open
or
up.
touch your toes as you're tanning.
Oh my God. I think you put too much
Okay.
thought into that.
Okay, I might be putting too much thought into this, but whoever made this put a lot of thought into it, and that's pretty darn amazing.
It's great. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was like, oh my God. And on the outside, there was a switch that said on, like minute wise, and off. I was just like,
Okay.
Oh my God.
Talent.
The fact that it
Talented.
said dads.
Very cool.
The fact that it
Dad's
said
tanning
dads
bed.
too. I was like, okay, so
Yeah.
mom don't go in there. Kid don't go in there. It's dads.
He's got, okay, so I'm imagining what this person does. He's either got to be like a weightlifter, like, you know, who does weight shows
Yeah.
to be tan all
Or
the
a
time,
model.
or he's like a model or something. I don't know.
I have no idea. I was
I'm
just
gonna be thinking
like,
about this all day.
what
Thanks a
the
lot.
hell? I know, right? I told you. Oh my goodness.
That's great,
Okay.
though. I love that. Okay, so tell me about, oh, I already forgot, but you told me to remind you.
Okay, I know, but I remembered. So talking
Okay,
about
good.
buyers too, because in this, and then yeah, we'll wrap it up. But I want to say, this market, buyers are I don't want to say desperate, but they're desperate. So I wanted to say that it's not always in your best interest as a buyer to automatically call the listing agent to get you into the house and be like, well, I want to work with you, and thinking that the listing agent's going to do better for you because they want both sides of the deal. In reality, the listing agent works for the seller. They have a fiduciary
Correct.
duty to take care of the seller and do what's best for them. So if you do use a listing agent, you're pretty much, you don't have an agent that's really dedicated to you, working for you, taking care of your best interest, you know, guiding you. That agent then becomes, if they're dual agency, they then become pretty much just the middleman. And now they're not really taking care of the seller. And obviously, like, the seller would have to give up their fiduciary duties or tell the agent that they need to have a designated agent to take care of the buyers. But the agent, if they're doing both sides, is now in the middle. So as a buyer, you know, it's not always in your best interest to go after.
I would not recommend that unless you knew the agent personally, right?
Right.
Because
and then even then, but yeah, it's always, and I've seen it happen. Like I've seen, you know, other agents, like buyers that I've worked for, and then other agents who list houses, and then, you know, these buyers might have lost out on 2 deals or whatever. They're calling the listing agent directly and trying to get in and get an offer. And I'm just like, guys, come on. Like, don't you?
And that's a really good point, because that happened to me in the Florida market when it was at the hottest it was ever. I had a family call me without an agent, and they were like, we want to use you because we know we'll be able to get in. And I said, and I basically told them, I said, that's not necessarily true. I said, I'm going to present all offers, highest and best, to my clients. And I said, I appreciate you guys calling me. And I said, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. It's my sellers are going to be my first priority, but I will help you write an offer, and I will stay neutral And I did, and I helped them write an offer. And of course, it was at the hottest part of the market, so they wrote an offer for very high, and it ended up being accepted. But I did tell them, I said, we're going to wait the 3 days. We're going to see what other offers my clients get, So really, in that scenario, it would have been better for them to have another agent to look out for their best interest, even though I was honest with them. You're not going to have, not all agents are going to be like, hey, you should have another agent, but luckily his dad was a real estate agent in another state. So he kind of knew what he was doing and kind of had his family member looking out for him. But it's better to have your own agent that's going to look out 100% for you, because you just, you never know.
Well, and that's it. Like, and I'll tell my people if I do dual agency, which I have done, and I always go right to the seller first, and I'll tell them like, so I'm actually I'm under contract right now with as dual agent, and if I never, so when I get offers in on my listings, I never open them until the deadline, like when I'm meeting my people. So I don't even know I don't know what the offers are until my sellers are right in front of me and we're going over them together, unless I've written the offer. And every time, if I have a buyer that's put in an offer on one of my listings, I disclose that right away to my sellers. And then if that offer is their better offer, or they want to take that, I tell them, I need to remind you that this is my buyer. And if you need me to designate an agent, I will, but I need to, I need to disclose that up front.
I really like that.
Like, no, a lot of times they're like, no, Sarah, we trust you, or whatever. Or they say, what would be the reason for what would be the downside for you doing both sides?
Both sides,
I'll tell them, well, my fiduciary duties pretty much cancel out on both sides, and I'm a middleman. Now I'm just
you're like a
mediator.
Transaction, basically. Coordinator. Yeah.
So,
but I really like that. I mean, that really keeps you true by not looking at the other offers until you're sitting down in front of your client. Right. So then that way, if you're writing another offer, it's not with your client, it's not being impressioned by the other offer. So I think that's really good on your part to do that. And it really keeps you true to what you want to be as an agent. I love that. That's great. Great thinking.
Right.
I'm going to have to do that. So
I think honesty is such a huge part in a realtor's career. Like it's, there's so many
talked
ethical,
about that, right? Sometimes being brutally honest, even.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. No purple also.
Honesty is the best case in real estate, and I love it. So awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking your day. And I know you're going to go do some showings, pack your lunch, and get your wine ready for when you get home.
I know, right? Yes, wine. That'll be keeping me moving all day, is the thought of wine when I get home. Awesome. Have an awesome Sunday. Talk to everybody later. Let's try to stay on track for next week. All right. We'll see ya.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.